Hello everyone, I am Prahalad and this is 7th grade math with Alston. We will be covering ratios and proportional relationships, which includes scale factors, unit rates, and proportional relationships, along with their application in the real world. These videos will consist of 8 to 15 review problems with a step-by-step solution to each one. If you got an answer correct and feel like you're ready to move on, use the timestamps in the video to skip to the next question. If you answered a question incorrectly, stick around to watch the solution. If you think you need some extra help after watching the video, check out the links for further reference page in the description box, where you can find practice problems and solutions for each question we covered in the video. Now, it's time to get started with our first practice problem. Okay, so the first question says, Janet can make 4/5 of a necklace in 20 minutes. At this rate, how many necklaces to the nearest tenth of a necklace can Janet make in an hour? So now you can pause the video and try to solve this problem on your own. When you're ready to see the solution, hit the play button. So our answer is 2.4 necklaces in an hour. So you can solve this in two ways. First, you can see that 1 hour is just 60 minutes. And we know that in 20 minutes, Janet can make 4/5 of a necklace. So you can see that 20 times 3 is just 60. And so that means if we multiply 4/5 by 3, we should get our answer. So 4/5 times 3 equals 12 over 5, which just simplifies to 2.4. So that's our first method. And then the second way you can do it, which is the way that I recommend, is by setting up a proportional relationship. So to do this, we can say that Janet can make 4/5 of a necklace in 20 minutes. So we can set it up as a fraction and then equate it to x, which is what we're trying to solve for, over 60. Because 60 minutes are in an hour, and that's how much they're asking us over here. Now we can simplify this by cross-multiplying, like this. 20 times x is 20x, and 4 over 5 times 60 equals 240 over 5. So we can simplify the right side of it. By dividing 240 over 5. So we get 48. 20x equals 48. Now to isolate x, we can divide both sides by 20. So we get x equals 48 over 20. And you can put that into your calculator and you'll find that 48 over 20 equals 2.4, which is our final answer. The next question says, Susan's weekly earnings were proportional to the number of hours she worked. This table shows the number of hours Susan worked and the amount she earned. How much does Susan earn per hour? Now you can pause the video and try to solve this problem on your own. Once you're ready to see the answer, play the video. Alright, so the answer to this question is $9 an hour. If you got the question correct, you can use the timestamp to move on to the next question. So, since we're dealing with a proportional relationship, each hour she earns the same amount. So we can just pick one of these rows to solve the problem. We're going to choose this row. So for 5 hours of work, Susan earns $45. So this means that since each hour she earned the same amount, we can just divide 45 over 5 to get the unit rate, which is our answer. This is a unit rate because it is asking us how much Susan earns each hour, which means how much she earns in 1 hour of work. So our final answer here would be 9. You'll find that you get the same answer even if you use 63 and 7, or 81 and 9, or 99 and 11. Okay, on to the third question. This question says, John saw a pair of shoes on sale for $60. The original price of the shoes was $80. What is the percent discount on the shoes? A, 20%, B, 25%, C, 75%, and D, 80%. Now you can pause the video and try to solve the problem on your own. Once you're ready to see the answer, play the video. Okay, so the answer was B, a 25% discount. If you got it correct, you can use the timestamp to skip to the next question. We can start off by finding how much money the discount was. So the original price is $80 and the final price is $60. So we do 80 minus 60 to see that we get a $20 discount on the shoes. So this is only how much money the discount was and not how much percent like we're trying to find. So we can do 20 over the original price of 80 and multiply this by 100% because we're trying to find a percent to get what the final discount is. So this is 20 over 80, which is just 1 over 4 times 100%, which is 0.25 times 100%, which just equals 25%. And we see that one of our answer choices is 25%. It's B, so we can circle this, and that's our final answer. Alright, so on to question number 4. This one says, if 1 over 3 gallons of paint covers 1 over 9 of a wall, how much paint will it take to cover the whole wall? So now you can pause the video and try to solve the question by yourself. Once you're ready to see the solution, you can play the video. Okay, so our answer is 3 gallons of paint. If you got it correct, you can use the timestamp to skip to the next question. So we're going to solve this problem by setting up a proportional relationship. So we know that 1 over 3 gallons of paint is enough to cover 1 over 9 of a wall. And we can set this equal to x because we're trying to solve for how many gallons of paint, how much paint will it take to cover the whole wall, which is just one wall. And now we can simplify this using cross multiplication. 1 over 3 times 1 equals 1 over 3, and 1 over 9 times x equals 1 over 9x. So now we're trying to isolate x, so we're going to divide both sides by 1 over 9. 1 over 9 divided by 1 over 9 is just x, and 1 over 3 over 1 over 9 is what we need to find out. So we're going to do that over on the side. 1 over 3 divided by 1 over 9 is just 1 over 3 times 9 over 1 that is just 9 over 3, which is just 3, and we get x equals 3. That's our final answer, 3 gallons of paint. Alright, so this is practice question number 5. It says, which table shows a proportional relationship? And we can see the two tables over here. Now you can pause the video and try to solve the problem by yourself. Once you're ready to see the solution, press play. Okay, so the answer to this question is Table 1. So first we need to know what a proportional relationship is. So it means there's a constant ratio between x and y. So we need to see which of these tables shows a constant ratio between x and y. So let's start off with table 1. Here we have 1 to 3. So the ratio between x and y is 1 to 3. Here we have 2 to 6 and 3 to 9. Alright, so what we can see is all three of these ratios are actually equal. 1 to 3 is the same ratio as 2 to 6 and 3 to 9. You can also think about it like fractions. 2 over 6 can simplify down to 1 over 3, just like 3 over 9 can also simplify down to 1 over 3. So we see that this one has a proportional relationship. Now let's see why table 2 does not have a proportional relationship. So the first ratio is 1 to 13, and the next one is 2 to 15, and then the third one is 3 to 17. So the fractions 1 over 13 and 2 over 15 and 3 over 17 are definitely not equal. So that one does not represent a proportional relationship, while table 1 does. So table 1 is going to be our final answer. Okay, question number 6 says, the distance Tom walks per hour is modeled by the graph shown. Determine the unit rate based on the graph. Alright, so now you can pause the video and try to solve it by yourself. Once you're ready to see the answer, play the video. Okay, so our answer is 2 miles. If you got it correct, you can use the timestamp to move on to the next question. To solve this problem, we need to know what a unit rate is. And most simply, a unit rate can be defined as 1 of something. And in this case, that something would be hours. So we need to know how much Tom would have traveled in 1 hour. So to do that, we can set up a little table of our proportional relationship. So we have hours and distance. So here we see at 2 hours, Tom has traveled 4 miles, and at 4 hours, Tom has traveled 8 miles. So we can put that into our chart. So now we need to know how much Tom travels at 2 hours. At 1 hour. So here we have how much he travels at 2 hours. And we can just divide that by 2 and divide this by 2 as well. So in 1 hour, he travels 2 miles, which is our unit rate, and that's our final answer. Alright, so practice question 7 says, Nick walks downhill to school while he has to walk uphill when coming back home. He walks 2 times slower when walking uphill. Write an equation to represent this proportionality with u as the speed walking uphill and d as the speed walking downhill. So now you can pause the video and try to solve it by yourself. When you're ready to see the answer, press play. Okay, so the answer to this question is d equals 2u. If you got it correct, you can skip to the next question using the timestamp. If not, you should watch the solution. Alright, so to solve this problem, we first need to remember that he is 2 times slower when walking uphill. And since we're trying to represent speed, he is 2 times faster when walking downhill, which means that his speed is 2 times larger when walking downhill. So that means his speed walking downhill is 2 times as much as it is when he's walking uphill. So we can put this into an equation by saying d, his speed walking downhill, equals 2u, which is the speed he goes at when walking uphill. So our final answer is d equals 2u to represent the relationship of speed when Nick walks downhill and uphill. Alright, this is practice question 8 and the final practice question of the video. It says, this is a pie graph of the amount of points a tennis player won during a match. The orange portion is the points he won. The degree measure of the angle formed by the pie graph is shown. What percent of his points did the tennis player win? Right now you can pause the video and try to solve this problem on your own. When you're ready to see the answer, press play. The answer to this question is 42.5%. To solve this problem, we can set up a proportional relationship. So the angle measure here is 153 degrees, which is 153 degrees out of the 360 degrees in a circle. So we can say 153 over 360 equals x over 100, because we use the number 100 in the denominator because we're trying to find a percent. Now we can cross multiply and we get 360x equals 15300, and now we divide both sides by 360 to isolate x, and we get x equals 15300 over 360, which equals 42.5. And remember, this is a percent, so we need to put a percent sign before our final answer. Thank you for watching the video, and we hope you got a good review of ratios and proportional relationships. If you want some more resources, remember to look in the description box for some links for further reference. Finally, if you enjoyed the video and would like to see more of them, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.